The Lafarge-Holcim Awards is the world's most significant competition for sustainable design. The awards program foregrounds projects and concepts from architecture, engineering, urban planning, materials science, construction technology, and related fields. The competition is conducted by the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation for Sustainable Construction. The foundation is an initiative of Lafarge-Holcim, the global leader in innovative and sustainable building solutions.
Holcim is at the forefront of sustainable building. Our foundation is a catalyst to amplify the best ideas in this area. We like to give a stage to the best and brightest minds in sustainable design and construction, to celebrate them and to accelerate their impact. And we have been doing this so since 2003. What I have learned during this time is that great ideas can come from anyone, anywhere on the planet. That's why I'm excited about the next generation of innovators, the students and young professionals who are disrupting the way we build and are reshaping how we live, from buildings and landscapes to the materials that we use. So please follow us to celebrate our next generation prize winners across the world. We are bringing them together as a global community, from the UK to Sierra Leone, from the US to Canada, and all the way from Indonesia to Argentina. I look forward to meeting with them and working together to create the built environment for tomorrow. With their fresh ideas, they keep us at the forefront of sustainable and innovative building solutions.
The Lafarge-Holcim Awards takes place across 5 regions: Europe, North America, Latin America, Middle East, Africa, and Asia Pacific. There is a competition category for projects at an advanced stage of design and with a high probability of execution, and a next generation category for the visions and bold ideas of young professionals and students up to 30 years of age. In 2020, nearly 5,000 submissions from more than 120 countries were entered in the awards competition, almost half of them in the next generation category. Around 2,000 entries passed the pre-appraisal screening and were evaluated region by independent juries of experts who then nominated the winners. Today, we are delighted to announce the best next generation projects in Europe. In this region, almost half of the submissions evaluated by the jury were entered in the next generation category. Jeanette Kuo headed the jury of independent experts.
I'm very happy here today to be welcoming all of you guys, or virtually welcoming all of you guys, and congratulating you guys for this prize. I think this year has been a really challenging set of discussions, mainly because there were so many great projects that were submitted, especially in the next generation category, that, for us it was really wonderful to see that this issue of sustainability is now being treated across the board in many, many countries in Europe. We had so many projects that were dealing with materiality, that were dealing with issues of construction, but also dealing with maybe other new ways of understanding sustainability, such as social sustainability, or the kind of infrastructural thinking behind how a building might evolve over time.
In the Europe region, the jury decided not to rank the projects, but to name 4 ex aequo winners.
We felt that, in fact, it was more fair to acknowledge the fact that all 4 of the projects brought very, very different perspectives to a topic which is very broad, but also therefore deserved a similar recognition. We also wanted to acknowledge, in fact, that this year the next generation category was very, very strong. We had huge debates in terms of whether one project should be prized over another. But it never seemed, in a way, adequate in terms of really addressing the kind of global issues that we were interested in highlighting.
In addition to the prize money and a certificate, every winning team receives a personalized trophy featuring the modular, devised by the Swiss architect Le Corbusier. It is mounted on a block produced by Lafarge-Holcim, made of eco-packed low-carbon concrete containing Sustano resource-saving cement. It showcases materials that enable circular flows and carbon-neutral construction. The prize winners will be announced in alphabetical order. Commentary on the projects will be provided by Marilyn Anderson. She is responding to questions from Edward Schwartz. Marilyn Anderson is a member of the board of the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation and heads its academic committee. She participated in all 5 regional awards juries. Edward Schwartz has been in charge of the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation for Sustainable Construction since it was established in 2003.
So Marilyn, did anything in particular stick out with the entries of the next generation in Europe?
I would say so, yes. So there was a lot of emphasis on the material and reuse, but also on the scale. So going from infrastructure scale to prototype, really, as well as bioclimatic principles and transformation or renovation.
So I mean, a very big variety of projects. How did you then finally sort out 4 winners?
I don't think we tried to select the best in each of these, let's say, scale category. It was more taking one at a time and then in itself seeing what the interest of the solution was and how complete or comprehensive or convincing this solution was to answer the particular category or type of problem that it's trying to address.
So let's not wait any longer and just move on, look at the first project, and this will take us to Spain.
The Cove of La Punta de San Felipe is exposed to strong west-east winds that lead to heavy accumulation of sand at the end of the cove. The project Accumulating Shelter proposes the creation of a dune beach on the cove. It consists of 3 main elements. A large high-tech structure will be built on the coast to act as a wind barrier. This wall catches wind-borne sand particles that will accumulate at the base on the west side, causing a dune, the second element, to gradually grow. The dune covers a pre-existing structure which now hosts a number of facilities, including a restaurant, library, and art gallery. The jetty to the east of this barrier will be transformed into a municipal park, the third element. This will serve as a recreational space for the public and a botanical park. Accumulating Shelter wins 1 out of 4 Lafarge-Holcim Awards Next Generation Prizes 2020 Europe. The prize goes to Javier Estebala Alandes, architect from Madrid. The jury particularly emphasizes the use of natural phenomena as part of the coastal reconfiguration. The jury also appreciates the project's technology-oriented and ecological approach. The project offers benefits for the population as well as for the ecosystem and tourism.
Marilyn, this project is based on exact calculations. How much can a computer help to reach sustainability? Or is it in the end still just a sort of a matter of gut feeling?
I think it goes beyond gut feeling or personal preference. But what is true is that it does have to combine so many things. So it's more a matter of combining priorities, like what do you put most emphasis on and what do you still want to make sure works, but don't necessarily push as far. And in this particular project, the idea was to, in the project itself, work at many different scales and in different categories.
So what particularly appeals to you in this highly diversified project?
I think it's the fact that it plays with a whole range of topics. It plays with art as a form. It's really a structure. It plays with the notion of shelter, with the dune. It plays with comfort and with basic bioclimatic principles like wind and evaporative cooling and light towers. So all in all, it tries to bring all of this into a actually utopian proposal, and yet it has all the ingredients that shows a nice and convincing awareness to what makes, in the end, a sustainable project.
Thank you, Marilyn. And with that, we'll move on to the next project that is winning a prize, and we're going to Switzerland.
There are over 4,000 data centers in Switzerland. They require a great deal of energy and produce an immense volume of waste heat. Thermal processor shows how this waste heat can be used. The processor supplies energy for the heating and cooling network of the city of Zurich. Java, a tall, slender building, is proposed alongside the Seal River. It is designed as both a new waste heat power plant and a residential building. Facade-mounted solar collectors will power the data center. waste heat from the data center reaches 60 degrees centigrade. Sorption machines efficiently cool it down to either 35 or 12 degrees centigrade, ideal temperatures for heating or cooling. Thermal Processor receives 1 out of 4 Lafarge-Holcim Awards Next Generation Prizes 2020 Europe. The prize goes to Yufei He, architect and scientific assistant at the ETH Zurich. The jury is intrigued by the visionary qualities of this proposal, which channels waste heat into heating and cooling systems for residential buildings. In addition, the project offers a functional and aesthetic solution to environmental problems caused by data centers.
It seems obvious that surplus energy should not be wasted. Shouldn't this sort of become commonplace?
I guess that as a principle, to use waste for something else is natural or feels natural. Nature does it. What is not so easy to do is how to implement it in an efficient way, because it really needs everything to be connected. It needs a network of things that the waste of one becomes the input to the other. And this makes sustainability, of course, as a life cycle and a full cycle, but is not necessarily so easy all the time.
This actually makes it look as if it's easy to replicate. How important is it for the juries to have the notion of multiplication in projects that get prizes?
I guess the generalizability potential of a project is a factor that plays a role in the jury assessment. Not just that, because sometimes generalizability comes with universality as well, and then it has to fit the project itself. And in this particular case, where you need to use the waste of something to be the input of something else, I think the refinement of the network becomes a key question. And the value of this particular project also lied in the materiality, in the bold design that it chose to propose, and therefore maybe not so much in the direct applicability or pragmatism of the approach, but more to the fact that with a convincing, strong architecture, you can make this link between waste and input a convincing one altogether.
So we've still got 2 more projects to reveal. Let's move on and go to Belgium.
Population growth is increasingly causing a shortage of living space in cities such as Brussels. Urban densification is becoming more and more important. The project Transforming Collectivity proposes an upgrade of the social housing infrastructure. The concept is based on the principle of sharing and is both space and energy efficient. The buildings offer an expanded variety of apartment typologies, covering the needs of every size of household. Personal living space is minimalized in favor of spaces that can be shared, such as kitchens and living areas. This approach increases the usable space per resident. At the same time, it reduces overall space usage and energy consumption through intensified use of collective spaces. People with heightened protection needs are socially supported through the concept of sharing. The project explicitly focuses on pregnant women and single mothers. Transforming Collectivity wins 1 out of 4 Lafarge-Holcim Awards Next Generation Prizes 2020 Europe. The prize goes to Anik Keosean, Mexican architect with a Master in Architecture and Urban Design from KU Leuven. The jury commends the maturity and pragmatic nature of the project. It addresses 2 core sustainability issues: the reinterpretation of existing structures and the promotion of social sustainability. The resulting architecture is very convincing.
The jury praised this project for its pragmatic approach. Now, to me, it seems rather complex. So where is the pragmatism in this project?
It is complex, it's true, because it addresses many different dimensions of sustainable living, let's say, but it's also pragmatic in the sense that it seems feasible, and it also embraces reality, which is kind of what pragmatism also means. For example, the fact that we have a change of family unit from the sort of traditional 4-people family to single all the way to multiple people or multi-generation. And so to have this, let's say, adaptability and to have this flexibility while having a lot shared but a lot of quality as well, I think is part of the pragmatism that the jury found in this project.
And that takes us to the fourth of the equally ranked winning projects from Europe, takes us across to the UK.
Water pollution is a major problem in many countries, often caused by the lack of infrastructure for wastewater treatment. The project Tessellated Cleansing proposes a system to purify water using microalgae. The project is based on the ability of microalgae to convert complex organic and inorganic waste into less toxic products. The algae are grown on ceramic tiles with a pattern of vein-like channels. The tiles, whose design is inspired by leaves, can be made with locally available materials. The algae isolate heavy metals from the water flowing over them. Over time, the algae must be renewed in order to maintain the efficiency. This maintenance work provides as many jobs as the tile production. Tessellated Cleansing wins 1 out of 4 Lafarge Holcim Awards Next Generation Prizes 2020 Europe. The prize goes to Shneil Malik, PhD student at the Bartlett School of Architecture, University College London. The jury commends the effective approach of the project. The bio-based technology with simple production lends itself to widespread use. The technology can beautify structures, and it shows that a product as simple as tiles can contribute to sustainability.
This project shows the great variety of projects that get entered in the competition and then of course also get prizes, going from urban planning interventions to detailed ideas like this one. So what actually makes this project stick out amongst all of them?
I think what really makes this project stand out is not just its scale, is the fact that both by having a very elegant, carefully crafted, beautiful kind of prototype, and the word prototype is here important because this is the other aspect that we really liked in this project, is that it got confronted to reality. It tried to make it and to see how well it could do once built on a one-to-one scale. So by picking an interesting and strong natural process and try to implement it into a built prototype and then testing it while keeping the elegance, let's say, of the natural process itself and representing it physically was part of all the aspects that we really liked in this project.
You especially mentioned the beauty of the project. How important is aesthetics when a jury looks at projects?
It is actually really important because that's what we love also. We have an emotional reaction to beauty, and in fact it is formally one of the 5 target issues of the Lafarge Holcim Foundation's prizes. So contextual aesthetics, I would say, is a very important component, not the only one. There are many others, but it definitely also plays a role.
Thank you very much. So one of the main goals of recognizing projects submitted by young professionals and students in our competition is, of course, to share ideas, to spread the word, to gain attention. So we asked all 4 Next Generation winners what this prize actually means to them. And the statement by Javier Alandes stands actually for all of them.
This is not that you being a prize winner at the Lafarge Holcim Awards is a tremendous honor and joy. For me, the award is a recognition of the work done to date and the motivation and impulse necessary to continue studying in a line that could open up new practices in the future of our profession.
So let's recap the results and look at the winners.
To learn more about the Lafarge Holcim Awards and its winners, check the website of the Lafarge Holcim Foundation. It offers the latest information and videos on all Next Generation category prize-winning projects from around the world. In addition, the renowned international architecture magazine AA, L'Architecture d'aujourd'hui, has published a special issue on the latest Next Generation winners of the Lafarge Holcim Awards. You can download this issue for free from the website of the foundation. What happens next? The prize money will be transferred immediately, but the handover of the well-deserved prizes will take a little longer. The winners will receive their trophies and certificates at the International Lafarge-Holcim Next Generation Awards Lab next year. All winners of a Next Generation prize from the 5 regions will be invited to exchange experiences and to link into a growing network of experts in sustainability and design. At the same time, up to 3 recipients of a research and practice grant will be announced. The further development of their next generation prize-winning projects will be supported by the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation. The winners of the Global Lafarge-Holcim Awards 2021 will be announced by Hashim Sarkis mid-November at a special event as part of the International Venice Biennale of Architecture. Professor Sarkis is the curator of this year's exhibition and was the chair of the Global Awards jury.
It's very evident if you walk through this Biennale that sustainability is a very common theme. It actually cuts across almost all of the projects. And even though the exhibition is organized around 5 scales, we will be organizing the symposia and programs that will come in the 6 months around these themes that are cut across. And in November, mid-November, there will be a long weekend where we will come together to talk about the different dimensions of sustainability, from the ecological to the behavioral to the aesthetic, but we'll also be coming together to celebrate the Holcim Awards and organizing together an event for the awards, but also an intellectual platform for talking about the joint common ambitions of the award and the Biennale.
All winners in the main category from the 5 regions were qualified for this global competition. These regional awards and acknowledgement prize winners will also be announced and celebrated in Venice.
I would like to congratulate all of the prize winners for their magnificent projects and visions and thank them on behalf of the Lafarge-Holcim Foundation for their work and sharing their ideas.
So good luck to all the participants as you pursue your ideas, and we're looking very much forward to seeing you, hopefully in person next year at the Awards Lab.
Indeed, we hope so. Sustainable construction needs many new ideas and needs young professionals who want to think further and rethink how and with what we can build. So thank you all for your support in creating a more sustainable future.